Hey guys, Randy here. Just finished the first phase of building out Jarvis project, taking a little break, let my brain cool off, focusing on the screen and watching what Claude's doing for an hour and a half. If you're paying attention to it, it takes a lot of focus out of, at least out of me anyway. So when I finished and took a break, I was thinking, what exactly was I doing? Am I vibe coding? So I thought, well, I'll jump over into Claude AI, where I have a project which keeps track of what's going on in Claude Code, because I don't always want to ask questions in Claude Code. So I ask Claude AI. So I ask it, I'm just curious, what is vibe coding versus what I'm doing with Claude? And it asked me some questions. When Claude Code proposes an approach or writes code, do you read it before it runs or let it execute and just watch the results? Well, I watch the results and approve it or disapprove it. Number two, when something breaks, who diagnoses the root cause? Well, Claude always has to research it for me, or I make Claude research it for me, and I verify that I understand what it's doing and approve it. And number three, do you set explicit constraints and guardrails before Claude Code starts? Yes, I have constraints and guardrails and security and testing all set up for every project in its markdown files so that it never forgets to do these things. So there are constraints upfront every time. For this particular project, my specific constraint was I wanted this to be platform agnostic, so that someone could just download the repo and get it working in a short period of time, no matter what platform they're using. So I'm going to let you explain, I'm going to let Claude AI explain exactly why this is not vibe coding.
That's not vibe coding, it's close to the opposite end of the spectrum, what's sometimes called AI assisted engineering or supervised agentic development, and it maps almost exactly onto your own brand thesis. Worth naming why, point by point. Vibe coding equals describe a vague outcome, accept whatever runs, no review, no comprehension of why it works, next prompt when it breaks. The human is a prompt typer, not a decision maker. Andrej Karpathy coined the term specifically to describe giving into the vibes, forgetting the code even exists. What you're doing, constraints set up front every time. That's architecture decisions happening before generation, not after. The reproducibility requirement on voice line is a design constraint, not a wish. Read and approve before execution. That's the AI assists humans approve line applied literally to your own dev process, not just your content thesis. Root cause explained and verified, not just patched. That's the difference between fixing a symptom and understanding a system. The whisper.cpp inference root problem is the clearest example. Claude Code didn't just try things until one worked, it diagnosed that. The spec's warning was written against a different server version. You verified you understood that rather than shrugging and moving on. The operational judgment you're supplying, what to build, what constraints matter, whether an explanation actually holds up, is exactly the tacit knowledge layer your operator evidence file product is trying to teach other IT professionals to document and prove. You're not just building Jarvis, you're living the case study for your own product while you build it. One nuance worth being precise about for content purposes, this workflow has a name worth knowing if you ever want to use the term on camera, often called spec-driven development or agentic development with human-in-the-loop review, as distinct from vibe coding. If you ever want a title or line like "this isn't vibe coding" for a Jarvis episode, that's a real citable distinction, not just a personal preference. And it's a good hook precisely because most viewers conflate using AI to code with vibe coding and don't know there's a real spectrum.
So there you have it. Here I was thinking I was just talking to Claude Code, and I am an agentic development with human in the loop review professional. Not professional, not yet, but I'm not a vibe coder. That's a mouthful. That is a heck of a job description on your resume. It reminds me of an old saying I heard. If you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit. And that is one of the best bullshit job titles I've ever heard. If you'd like to follow along, the long form of the video is going to be posted on my YouTube channel. It's an hour and a half long. I may do some type of segments that are just highlight reels. Not sure yet, but anyway, didn't want this to go too long. I'll talk to you later.